Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, it has been a very long time. Almost gave up on myself for a minute, but I didn't. We're here. We're here. Where can I start? I just got back to Australia about a week ago. I was in New York visiting some family. We need to chat. There are so many things that I want to share, and I'll try to make this as short as I can. If you're here, thank you. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. I know the channel is very small right now. I know what I'm trying to create is very small right now. But before I start, I really just want to say that I appreciate every single one of you guys that have given me a chance, that cares about what I have to say, that resonates with what I have to say, that is here with me. God is putting you in my life for a purpose, and God is putting me in your life for a purpose. So thank you for being here with me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Now, let's get to what I would like to talk about. Today's topic, I would like it to be character development. This is something that is kind of happening in my life right now. And I'm learning so much about myself that I thought that I already knew. Turns out I don't. So there's so many things that I've learned throughout my trip going back home. For those who don't know me and are new here, I'll explain it really quick. I've really been struggling with my identity in Australia. And when I say identity, I mean where I fit in and where myself is. Being in Australia has kind of been really, really, really hard at first. Obviously, being Latina, not having my community, and also just comparing my previous life to what I have here. Being away from my family for the first time ever. Kind of just thinking and really, really struggling with where I belong here in Australia, and kind of thinking about my happiness. And like, I thought that my happiness was back home with what I'm used to, with my culture, my people, my family, my city. I thought that that was, where I was heading and what I wanted. Girl, I was so wrong. I was so far off wrong. I went to New York and I had the best bliss the first few days. I was totally convinced I was not going to come back to Australia. I was ready to leave everything here. Okay. I was ready to leave my man. I was ready to leave my house. I was ready to leave everything. Okay. Because I thought that I was suffering so bad in Australia that my happiness was just not here, that I was ready to pack it up and go. I had this amazing bliss and it was so good. I was on such a high and I didn't think anything of it. I was so happy to see everybody, my family, everybody that I haven't seen in over almost 2 years. And if you're Latino and our Spanish community, we're like this, okay? Like Spanish families, we're like this. So seeing everyone and being around everyone was really, really nice until about the second week. And I'm talking about the beginning of the second week. And don't worry, this all ties to my character development that I'm learning about myself. So basically, I'm like 2 weeks in. My high is kind of lowering now because I'm seeing everything for what it is. It was like I took my fucking glasses off. Like my what is it that they say? Rose-covered glasses, whatever. It was like I took that off and I saw shit for what it was. The crazy thing is that I believed in myself that I was so much like my family still, that I wanted to be around them, that we resonated in a lot of things. Being around everything, not just my family, but everything. I really felt like I couldn't resonate anymore. And I really felt like I just didn't fit in. I didn't see how much I worked on myself until it was like right in front of me. The amount that I worked on myself, the amount of healing that I've done on myself, the amount of understanding that I have now about life, about God, about everything, about what I've learned being isolated from everyone. I've learned so much. I truly thought that my happiness was where my family was. And my happiness is where my old life was. What I was already comfortable with, what I was used to, what I didn't have to do too much work for. I thought it resided there with my comfortability and everything that I was already used to. Long story short, by that second week, I was so ready to come back to Australia. I was ready to come back and leave. It's such a bittersweet feeling because I really wanted this to be me. I wasn't ready to leave that old person behind. I thought that old person was still in me. And I thought that everything that I thought was my happiness, my peace, my mental health, I thought that old person was still there with me. I was so far from that. And I realized that being uncomfortable in front of people. God showed me a lot of things that doesn't change. God was just putting that in my face for me to be like, okay, you want to continue questioning? You want to continue questioning this life that I'm giving you, this life that you prayed for, this different life that you wanted? You're going to continue questioning it. I'm going to put it right in front of your face. I'm going to put it right here where you can see it and feel it and hear and hear. And I'm so stubborn in that sense, where I fight myself. And I had to obey. I literally had to apologize to God. And I just was like, I am so damn sorry that I even questioned you. I am so sorry that me praying for something, I wanted something so different in my life. And I prayed for that for years. Years I prayed that I wanted something different, something to fulfill me, to find my purpose, to find that peace in me, to be happy. I prayed for that for so long. And silly me, I had it right in front of me the whole time. And when I went back to New York, I realized how unhappy people are. I realized that a lot of people don't want to do the healing. And I'm going to get real about something here. If you're going to church to try to find God, you can think that you're on the right path. But if you leave church and you go right back to that person that you were when you came in, that's not putting in the work, baby girl. You cannot try to find God and continue to put yourself in the same cycles as you were before you were trying to find God. Okay? And I'm going to put this in another way, because this is what I have seen in my family. I'm not religious, but I attended a Christian event when I was in New York, and it was absolutely beautiful. I went to the Christian church, or however you may call it, and it was absolutely beautiful. I got emotional. I felt like a lot of things were towards me. Did I feel like I wanted to become a Christian? No. But it was a nice thing to experience. But there's a lot of things that have to stay true to myself about. And a lot of that is what God has taught me. God has taught me that love is the highest vibration that you can ever have in your life. It wins above everything. If you show up with love, trust me, there's no negativity that can come to you, because love is too powerful. It's too positive. What can fuck that up? Nothing. And when you show love to other people, and when you show love to yourself, it's going to show, because you're going to be so loving towards other people. People that are angry, people that have attitude, people that don't want to fucking really be around you, people who can't accept the wrongs in themselves. You're going to have something to give to these people. Back to what I was saying with the whole church thing. My family's very much into religion. in their own way, not like super diehard, but in their own way. And I realized that there's so much healing that needs to happen in my family. There's a lot of patterns that I saw that were not good for me and not good for like my healing that I'm trying to do and that I have been doing. And it sucks because when you're part of a family that constantly is fighting and constantly has issues with each other, but goes to church every Sunday, it's like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? You're going to church every Sunday, but still fucking hating each other. Make it make sense. And spirituality has taught me to love and forgive and let go. And I learned that about my character. This character that I've developed, I'm a fucking strong bitch. Like I've learned that spiritually I'm strong. And spiritually I've learned God has taught me, thank God, that I have received it and it's stayed with me. And when I was there, I tried to give it to others. I tried to give it to my family. I tried to give it to some family members of mine. But not everyone was receiving of that because they're not there yet. They're not here. And the character development that I'm learning about myself was that, number one, I'm having boundaries. I know now that what I can offer you is a privilege. I know now that not everyone can have this. When you give to the wrong people, it drains you. And I was giving and giving and giving my love and continuing to give my love because that's what God is about. God is about love. I'm learning that I don't want to be in everybody's space. And I'm learning that whoever I allow in my space is a privilege. If you're going to be in my space and I'm going to allow you to be around my aura and my energy, and I'm going to give my spiritual lessons that I have learned to you, you have to be someone that makes me feel like you're ready to understand this. I was there trying to explain certain things to people about what I've learned because of how they are in their life and angry and just living with that revengeful mindset and living with these things. And I had to stop myself because I was noticing that it wasn't getting anywhere. It wasn't gonna resonate. They weren't gonna understand it to that capacity because they're not ready to do the work. You cannot just go to church and leave and think that you're doing that fucking work. And yeah, because it makes you feel good, because you're there at that moment, but then you leave and you go back to being miserable, being angry, being revengeful, not forgiving, not taking accountability for your actions as well. That's half-assing that shit. And I'm sorry to say, but in my fucking development that I've done, I've had to put the fucking work in. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sit and fucking pray and it's just gonna come to me. Hell no. What? I've had to fucking do a shit ton of work on myself in order for me to even learn the lessons. I've had to be hurt. I've had to put myself through so many things. I've had to teach myself. I've had to discipline. This shit takes discipline. Healing takes discipline. But the first and foremost thing that it takes is the want to do it. The urge, the readiness. Healing is not a piece of cake. And you can't half-ass it going to church one day a week and thinking that that's you fucking being holy and that's you fucking doing the job. No. You have to put in the work. God meets you here and you need to fucking meet God here as well. It's not easy. I can't stand that. Like I was seeing it all over. I was like, oh my gosh, it was really draining me because I've learned so much and I tried to deliver what I've learned, but it was just not, you can't. For people who are not ready, you can't do that. You literally can't. And it sucks because these are people that I love. These are people that I love, that I have history with, that I've grown up with, that I have all these things with. And it was like God was just showing me that, like, nah, they're not ready. And you for sure can't be here. Because I was finding myself being angry and I was finding myself like annoyed and like it was bringing me back to a place that I feel like I've already healed from. And then I'm realizing that shit, I actually have to do more work on this because why is it triggering me? But it's so hard to heal where you've been hurt. It's so hard to heal where you have been hurt. You can't. You got to get out of that environment. You got to get away. I think the only way that you can heal where you've been hurt is if that other person is willing to give you that healing. Whoever it is that hurt you, if that person is willing to accept and take accountability and be on that same type of vibe as you, I think that's where healing can take place. But if someone's not being reciprocating with that, then you can't heal where you've been hurt. And this came back to everything that I've noticed about myself. And this doesn't mean that, I don't want to be around them or I don't want to see them or whatever. Like, no, I love these people. This is my family, but to account, you have to understand what's healthy for you. You have to understand what's healthy for your mental being, whether that be your family, your friends, your environment, the city, your city. Like, you have to understand if that is going to be something that's good for you or not. Is it going to feed into what you've done the work on, or is it going to make you more drained and pull you down a bigger hole than everything that you've worked on yourself? And I had to really ask myself these hard questions because I had a choice to stay in New York or come back to Australia. I was there to initially figure out what it is that I wanted to do. So I had to ask myself these hard questions. And I ultimately chose to come back here because I had such a misconception of what my happiness was and what brought me peace. And if you're someone who has these issues as well, where your family hold animosity towards each other and you are really someone who's trying to do that work and try to gear a different direction so that you can take off that generational trauma so you can give your kids something amazing for the futures to come, for their kids and their kids and their kids. And you're someone who's trying to heal that within yourself, and your family is not really on the same page as that, but you're seeing similar patterns that I'm explaining here, then you need to understand that God made you different. God made you different for a purpose. God made you different to understand that this is your purpose, to break that, to be that person for your child, for their child, for your child's child, for the generations to come. It's hard because it does come with pain because you're having to leave people that you love. But if it doesn't suit you, stop forcing it. I was forcing it and I wanted it so fucking bad. And now I saw shit from a different lens. And I'm done forcing it. Me coming back here and being back here and choosing this shit for myself and choosing everything around me is fucking the happiness that I feel now. I feel like I understand everything now. Like I get what God was trying to do for me because I get that God was like, this isn't for you anymore. Oh God, I could get I get emotional talking about this every time because you don't realize what God is doing for you. It's a blessing. What is it? A blessing in disguise. If you're a being of love and peace, you can try to give it to people just enough. And I felt like I was getting so much judgment for making the choices that I've made in my life, being here. And I'm so fucking proud now. I'm like, judge me if you want. The issue is that it's okay for us to not think the same. You cannot live this life thinking that everybody's gonna think like you. Just because we're family, we're gonna think alike. No, you have to be okay with understanding that everybody thinks different from you. And that doesn't mean they love you any less. And that doesn't mean that they don't like you and they don't like your character. Take it as a learning step, as a learning stone. Take it as a lesson to learn from. Like, hey, maybe I should think about how they're thinking. Or let me try to understand that. Instead of like fighting and like holding shit against people just because we have different opinions, just because we don't think the same. Yeah, I fucking live in Australia because I prefer my peace of fucking mind. And who knows, maybe later down the line, like, I'll move back. I'm open to whatever, but I'm like done fighting what it is that God wants for me. I'm done fighting what it is that my character has developed now. I'm not that person that I was before. This person who I am now is certain. I'm certain of what I prefer and who I want around me and the energy that I want to involve myself with. It's like so crazy. Like yesterday I was talking to my brother about souls choosing their parents. And this is a little off topic, but just bear with me here. It's a little bit relating. But we were talking about how is it that the soul, oh God, try not to get emotional, hold on. We were talking about how is it that the soul chooses parents? Because we both believe that souls choose their parents for a purpose. And he was admitting to me that he thought for a long time and he's thought about why did we choose our parents? And me and my brother are kind of like on the same wavelength where like we both live far from home and we both have similar traumas because of our parents and because of things like that. So we kind of understand each other on that level. The only difference is he's older, so he's had to deal with it longer than I have. That's fucked up, but yeah. He's had to deal with it longer than I have, but he's fucking amazing. And I love him so much. Like he's someone that I can talk to for hours and hours and hours. And we just get it. We're both like, he's like that philosopher, spiritual philosopher. And I'm like the one taking notes. Like, yeah, like, yes. Oh my God. Literally. That's our relationship. And I'm the one with like the spiritual gifts. It's so funny. Every time we talk, I always take something out of our conversation. Every single time we talk. And yesterday we were talking about that. And he said that he's come to the conclusion that he came into our parents' lives to break that pattern of trauma, of that parental trauma that happens to our parent, like from that our parents have given us. And he realized that he was kind of there to, it got really deep, but he said that he was really there to kind of break that pattern, but also for the ancestors that tried to break that pattern as well, that couldn't. And he's succeeding in that now. And I swear when he said this, I just was like, what the fuck? Because I feel the same way. But like he kind of just like said it and solidified it to me. But I swear I have literally been feeling like my purpose is to talk. My purpose is to talk about what I'm learning, what I've been through, to have that platform so that other people can understand that they can choose this type of life too. They can feel like they're not going through certain things alone. They can break that trauma if they show up with love constantly. looking at things from a different lens, understanding things differently. I feel like that's my purpose too, to have my kids be different, and their kids and their kids, and so on and so forth. And me and him just had like a wow moment. And we were just like, bro, I won't tell my brother's story, but my brother is such a strong individual. He has done some crazy shit spiritually that I would not do myself. So it's like God put us as siblings to be that for our whole family, to teach them, to maybe, what is it that he likes to say? Plant a seed in their brains. And maybe they don't have to like it, but they're for sure gonna fucking think about it. And maybe that can spark some curiosity. And you know what? How did you get there? I maybe want to take that step now. I maybe want to do that. And I've noticed that I've developed these characteristics of being fucking fearless. And it's fucking great. Who the fuck can say that they've done these things? And I can tell my brother's also extremely fearless. But we're so fearless in like similar ways. But he's much more savage than I am in that fearless sense. But we're learning to take life on. And I'm learning to just take life the way that it is. I'm learning to allow and accept whatever it is that God wants for me. It's going to be. As long as I continue to carry myself in the way that I've learned, then I'll always win. I'll always win. Because I'm going to love you regardless. You could fucking hate me. And I'll be like, yeah, bitch, that's fine. That's fine. It will not bother me. Because I love myself. And I love what God has done for me. And I love what God has done for me and my siblings. And I just see that. I see that love. And I see that what love can do for each other. And what you can do. What love can make happen. I expressed that in a video that I made. And what love did. And it reunited two people that I really, really love. And I just showed them love. And it reunited them. That's what I think. But I think because I was able to show up and show them that forgiveness can be a thing, that love can be a thing regardless, that we can let go, God united them. And it was hurting me to see them separated. And I was happy that I was even able to do that. Well, that they were also able to do that because they have to want to heal that within themselves. And they did. That is fucking character development. You got to consistently do the work. You have to work with God. You can't just sit on your pretty little ass and think it's going to come to you. You got to put that work in, baby girl. I want you guys to understand two things. There's a fucking huge power in healing. And when you heal, second thing, your character will change. When you heal, your soul will change. You will change. You will not be the same person that you were before. And you have to be prepared for that. It's not easy. It's for sure not easy. But it's essential for spiritual growth, for character development, for you. It's essential for you. And be okay with that. Be okay with being different. Be okay with maybe you are the odd one in your family. Maybe you are the one that they don't understand. It doesn't matter. God made you special. God made you different. God gave you that purpose. Trust. It's always going to be for the betterment of you. I will leave it there, guys. I will leave it there. So many things. So many things that I've learned about myself. I will leave it here. I will talk to my girlies another time. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please follow, like, share, subscribe. If you want more content like this, please stay along. I appreciate all of you guys for watching me, listening to me, for those who don't see the videos, listening to me, and just sticking around. Just sticking around. We got big things coming. And I almost gave up on myself, but I didn't. We've got big things coming. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And thank you so much for being here. God bless you all. And I love you. Bye.